Welcome back, future OTs. I'm Talia. I'm so glad I could have you here today. I feel like I'm giving a presentation. So glad you made it. Okay, second week of placement in a pediatric clinic. Welcome back, future OTs. Today's video is going to be the first of, I think, some weekly learning reflection type videos. Oh, that wording is definitely selling this video to you. Reflection of learning videos for the week. So things I've learnt over the week. So if you notice I'm saying things or maybe phrasing things in a different or strange way, I'm going to leave you to internally fill in the blanks, and let's just jump into it. So one of the first things that I've been learning this week, so I've been learning about a bit of admin related things, such as how to use different computer databases and using multiple at once and knowing which one to go to for what type of information, all the different ways of accessing. There's so many different options within one program, and so just getting my head around those types of things and different procedures, as well as learning more about staff dynamics between different healthcare professionals, how different healthcare professionals, OTs and doctors might interact, as well as learning tips and tricks, not tricks, but learning tips for building and fostering positive relationships with different staff that you see more commonly, such as nurses, and also learning the importance of having a good relationship with all the different all the different health professionals on your team. I've also been getting to know my peers around me and learning more about their experiences in the past, and learning to work together with our different strengths and weaknesses and how we can help each other over the coming weeks. So I think the biggest hands-on experience that I've experienced this week, is communication with clients or patients or consumers, whatever term you're using at the moment for what setting you're in. At the moment we're learning to use consumers, so interactions with consumers and different ways to alter your communication style depending on your consumer and their needs, as well as learning more about communication with groups. So I've had experiences in the past, a lot of experience communicating with groups of children. So this week it was learning more about communicating with adults, so 18 to 70, just anyone within that age range, communicating with adults in a group setting. So there's definitely similarities to how you would lead a group in pediatrics and how you would lead a group of adults. There's definitely just commonalities that come up, such as working through distractions, redirecting the group, showing leadership at the start and having some ground rules, and just establishing respect from the very beginning can really help to have a smooth group session. However, obviously there are going to be differences between working with kids and working with adults when it comes to expectations for performance, communication, things like that. So it is a group by group basis, who's part of the group that day, as to what to expect and what to prepare for. And hopefully next week I'll be learning a lot more about leading the groups and running the groups. This week I've had a lot of valuable experience observing groups, so that's definitely a valuable experience, being able to sit back and watch the therapist-consumer relationship happen. So observing the relationship, it's a lot easier to reflect on. So next week, when I'm more in that therapist role, it's going to be, I think, possibly for me, more challenging to self-reflect and kind of step out of myself and watch myself and the interactions and reflect in the moment. I can just imagine myself already in a debriefing session, after we finish the group session, going, oh gosh, what just happened? And trying to go through the whole session in my mind. So I think that's definitely going to be something for me to work on, reflecting in the moment and taking note of, oh, that could have gone better, I should have said that, instead of having to replay the whole session in my mind afterwards. Let me know if you're like that as well. This week I've had some really positive experiences interacting with different people, staff members, consumers, and so that's led me to feel very excited for weeks to come and the more experience and knowledge I can gain. I didn't necessarily have any fears before last week. I guess more uncertainties. I guess I had anticipated I would have positive experiences, of course negative experiences as well. However, there was some uncertainty because I hadn't had much experience in in the mental health field before. So first, for this last week, it definitely has been positive, and I know it's not necessarily going to be positive every single week. However, I think having these positive experiences early is definitely going to help me when I may experience a situation or experience that's more negative or in the middle, so I can refer back to these nice moments that I've had this week and go, it's not always going to be like this. This is just, sometimes things aren't going to go exactly how you planned them, or someone's just not in the right space at the moment to engage with you, and that's okay. But by having positive experiences early, I know it can happen, and it will happen in the future. Maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow, and not to let small moments drag you down. I think especially in the mental health field, when you're working with people who are already experiencing differences in their mood, such as maybe experiencing depression or something like that, it's really important to keep yourself in check, acknowledging where you are, because even when I was working with kids, whether it be just coaching or teaching or doing occupational therapy, and I imagine it for all areas you experience, it's very draining. I guess you can relate it to performing in a way, because you are, especially for kids, in performance mode. You're having to be 110% of yourself all the time, because especially kids can notice when you're not 100%, and sometimes it's okay to, if the situation's right, to acknowledge, I haven't had a great morning, but I'm here to be with you now and my attention's on you. I think it's just important for all health professionals to use self-reflection. How am I feeling right now? Am I in the right state or mindset to go into this situation? Should I take a few more moments? What tools and resources, strategies do I have to get myself into that just right state that I need to be in when engaging with clients, consumers and patients? So being aware of how your mindset and your mental health and your health in general can affect your consumers, and just making sure that you're on top of that as well. Self-care as a health professional is very important. I think that's what my message was just there. But I have had one of my nice moments this week was, I have a moment this week when I was upset, and it wasn't directly caused by anyone or an incident or anything like that. I just was upset, and I then went and was speaking to someone, and it was clear that I had been upset. And at the end of the conversation, they made a comment that it's clear that I can see that you're a human being, and it was just a really nice moment. So sometimes acknowledging, what's going on for you right now, and can be helpful. It's knowing what to say in what situation and what's appropriate. But I know, just sidetracking, when you're going up to perform for something, a performance or teaching or something like that, and you acknowledge, I'm a little bit nervous right now. You'll probably be able to tell for the next few hours that I'm nervous, but I'm excited. That can actually help you. That can actually help your nerves. Acknowledging how you're feeling right now can positively help you, can make a positive difference. I have also been starting to learn more about formulation, and so to me at the moment, formulation is something similar to developing a clinical image of someone. So gathering as much information as you can about all sorts of things about them, not just through an MSc, not just through reading progress notes or something like that. It's gathering a full clinical image to understand really what's going on for that person. So I've started understanding and working through that process, and I'm sure over the coming weeks I'm going to learn a lot more about it and probably have a way better description of what formulation can be, because I think there's different types of formulation as well. I've also started experiencing and learning more about resourcing for group sessions, and I've started practicing how I'd like to always present myself to the group. I think I definitely want to demonstrate confidence in leadership. I think when someone leading the group shows that they are confident, actually no, if you go the other way, if someone shows that they're not really confident, that can make you feel maybe more uncomfortable and unsettled. It's like, is this person really qualified to be running this right now? I don't know if I want to be here. So I think starting sessions, especially demonstrating that confidence but also respect for everyone in the room, is just going to, just noticed, is my tripod wobbling? Please, video stabilization, please be working. So I think starting the sessions with confidence and apparent respect for everyone in the room is going to help the session just run smoothly and hopefully have a productive session. So definitely been learning more about sensory approaches in OT and learning how we can explore sensory preferences through different activities, such as watching a video and using discussion prompts to really explore with a group of people their sensory preferences and their experiences, as well as more of the Moho model, looking at their values and priorities. So using a medium such as a video to elicit that type of information. So I've been learning more about that. Something that I will hopefully be learning more and experiencing more about in the coming weeks is conducting and using the information of an MSE, so a mental state exam. So we have learned about this at uni briefly. However, I think in the coming weeks this is going to become something I use more regularly. Something that I have been using to prepare is this book right here, The Psychiatric Interview. So it's by Dr. Daniel J. Carlett. I'm so sorry. I really enjoyed the way he writes this. This is either third edition. I think it's the most current edition. I think the second edition's blue. I really enjoy the way he writes it. It's not like a heavy textbook. This is what you do, this is what you see. I mean, it does tell you that information, what you can do, but it's more I find it really hard to describe it. I think of it more as a very useful and informative TED Talk, though most of them are, informative and useful. It feels like a clinical educator or a lecturer just giving you really hands-on advice, and the way he writes it is like they're talking to you. I don't know, I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I enjoy reading books like that. So usually I find that more in like biographies, autobiographies. It's like the person's just talking directly to you the way they would say it, as opposed to textbook writing or writing an essay. You don't necessarily speak like that. I hope that makes some sense. So some of the chapters are how to approach threatening topics, what to do before the interview, techniques for different types of patients or clients, so the reluctant, the adolescent, the overly talkative, as well as obtaining a history of presenting illness. So just a really useful guide that I've been really enjoying just sitting down and reading to, but because it's divided into these different topics would make it a really easy little handbook to kind of flip to the certain section about. So I would recommend that if you're going to experience the mental health field soon, or just interested in this. Overall, I think this week, what I've taken away from it is learning more about staff dynamics and interactions, and the importance of respecting and understanding each other's roles, experiencing and starting to create group sessions for adults, as well as further understanding sensory approaches in OT, in particular in the mental health field. Okay, that wraps up this strange learning reflections video. I hope it was somewhat useful. Please let me know down below if you have any other questions. Tess, I see your question from a few weeks or so ago about timing with documentation when you're a clinician, and I'm trying to get a few different people's inputs because I want to give you the most accurate answer I can. So I have not forgot about you, Tess. I don't know if you'll see this, but I have not forgot about your question. I've been drafting an answer for a while now on my phone, so an answer will be coming soon, hopefully. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys. Thought I'd just show you what today's tripod situation was. Beach towels, a box, this very devastating book, The Day the Wi-Fi Died, and then the box set of The Office. So, Soup's professional.